Yeah. You know, I think that. Right. And that, I was in my contract. I'm really surprised, because I thought all of us had the same. Well. Most of them are 15 and 5, 10 and 5. I've never seen a 10. But we have 10. That's really good. I would be losing money, you know.
And the central. You're probably
That building will have.
So if I hear that.
Either of you guys have connections.
Get over it.
I like it better than Xfinity.
Yeah.
I wonder if I wouldn't.
I feel like it's gonna be a lot more reliable, I get a lot more straight out, it'll be a lot.
Which is good.
I'm not.
I was getting, I even paid for like, things like road,
All that.
next ever got was like, 46 of them.
Yeah, they've been. You've watched it for training.
Well, for that, it was free ride, because I said, I went.
I don't know. All I know is that payback, like that's my guys keep saying, are they ready? That's all I have. Would be in and out. I might have to raise them because they're gonna do it like before. I have 7 lines. And I gave you 5 days. Yeah. Not crazy.
What AT&T rides would be like $400.
But.
Stupid is that I find 160.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You want the rain to pop up and down here.
It's like I know some streaming and I'm watching this video.
I probably get that. Up to get
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep. Yeah. You've been running some servers.
Okay. We'd like to welcome everyone to South Weber City Council this evening. It's 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March the 11th, 2025. We'll begin with a pledge of allegiance from Councilman Windsor and then a prayer by Councilman Howard.
Do we have less allegiance? Repeat after me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Our dear Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee this evening, we're so very grateful for the nice weather which we're having and for the area which we live. Thankful we can gather here as members of our community and members of South Weber, and we pray that will help us to be able to discuss the matters at hand, and that we will be able to make the right decisions for all those who these decisions affect and who they may affect in the future. We're thankful for all of our firefighters and our police and our military and all that they do, and for all that they do to protect us. We ask that you watch over and protect them, that they may return to their families in safety. Again, we thank thee for all that we have, and we say this in the name of thy son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll begin with public comments. If you've got a comment, we'd ask you to step up to the microphone, state your name and the city from which you reside. And your comments will be to the entire council. We'll allow you 3 minutes or less to speak. So we'll open up for comments.
Paul Sturm, South Weber City. This public comment is a little unusual in that I would like to applaud the efforts of Brett Balthazar and his admin services group. They have been presenting some very, very specific, detailed, and self-explanatory type of information on budget and expenses and the like. Anyway, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Well,
We agree with that.
Good job, Brett.
that's like the highest compliment. I've heard it all, so-
Thanks, Angie.
Anyone else? If not, we'll move along with our consent agenda consisting of February's checks and January's budget to actual. Is there any discussion, changes, or corrections to these items? If not, then we'll look for a motion to approve.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion in the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item, ordinance 2025-4, South Weber Gateway subdivision zoning realignment at approximately 2350 East South Weber Drive. Any discussion on this ordinance? Probably discuss this, and if seeing none, we'll look for a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 2025-04 South Weaver Gateway subdivision zoning realignment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll begin with the roll call vote from Councilman Windsor.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, citywide recycling program implementation. We're going to do this in two parts. We'll first look for motion on whether we want to have a recycling program or not. And then after that, our second part will discuss its separate options. So any discussion on this recycling? Anyone?
So when you said whether we have it or not,
Are we going to
So-
do a recycling?
Yes.
program?
And maybe I pushed this, I asked the mayor the other day, I said, maybe we need to have this in two votes. Let's have an up or down vote. Whether we're going to have a recycling program as a city, because currently we don't offer a recycling program. Our recycling program is through ACE. That's all straight with ACE. Are we gonna just have one, whether it's opt-in, opt-out, all those three options? Are we, before we start discussing which option we're going to go with, are we even gonna have one? So that we're not, I don't want to argue or debate, I shouldn't say argue, debate both items so that we have a mixed proposal.
Yeah.
or-
yeah, makes sense.
Okay,
so.
any
Well,
other questions?
I guess the only way to really do that then is, Mayor, I would like to, I would like to, do a, say no program. I move to retain current garbage services as is with no city-sponsored recycling program.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Seeing no second, motion dies. Somebody like to make another motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we implement and pursue a recycling program citywide.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Councilwoman Petty. Do a roll call vote, starting with Councilman Halverson.
Aye.
aye.
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. 4-1, motion carries. And the next portion of this would be the cycling options that we've been presented with opt-in and opt-out. What was the other one?
3 or 5 years?
Well, there was, we could opt to just provide it, the can ourselves, which is kind of like the status quo. And but we could also do that through the new one.
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful if we could ask staff to put on the overhead. Oh, it just
It's
did.
there.
It wasn't in the packet, so I was
Yeah.
hoping we could have staff or maybe the committee go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So option one was basically to stay status quo. Option two was to opt in, I believe. And, no. We got 4 on there. We only had 3 to start. So option 3, I think, is the option to opt out, but we only get 50%. Is that correct?
I think
And-
isn't option 1 just status quo? We
Status
don't do
quo.
anything. So we voted that one down.
Yeah.
So now it's 2,
Yep.
3, and 4.
2 would be
So-
opt-in 50%.
And then number 2 is opt out, but we only retain 50%. So really, we only have the choice of doing opt in or opt out.
Right.
And the recommendation from the Municipal Utilities Committee is that we move forward with the opt out program, that everyone in the city would receive a can, which then allows us to be eligible for the grant money, which they will help us chase the grant money. And then that would also, the statistics show that we have a better likelihood of getting an 80%, which also allows us to receive the discounted rate from integrated waste.
Question. If the council decides to go with the option for the opt-out 80%
Mhm.
and the public choose more than 20% choose to opt out, what are the ramifications?
It is an increased tip fee so between 50 and, so our cost will increase as a city. If we don't have 80% participation, it goes from the 16, and I'm sorry, I forgot my glasses, to the $17.
So it'll revert back to the option 3 if we don't get the,
If we
Correct.
don't get 80%.
okay,
We don't, I mean, other than just, we don't get any discounts. We don't get the discounted rate from integrated waste. We also don't get the grant money, and we don't get the lower rate from Robinson for transport.
but we really can't control.
We can't control it because I think everybody needs the option to opt out.
Thank you.
Preston, have we presented that correctly?
Hello, I'm Preston Lee with Wasatch Integrated Waste, and you're close. We do not actually require 80% for the incentive program.
It's the grant. Did I say that wrong? Is it just the grant that
It's
gets?
just the opt-out. If you provide the option to all of your residents, and give them the choice of opting out, then you're
We're okay with
100%, you'll get the grant money, you'll get our
Okay,
support.
but we
and
have to do
everything
the opt out. Okay.
But I-
apologize.
You'll also, whatever your hauler is charging,
And that's $1 more.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
state on that, but.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for
you.
clarifying. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Preston.
Now, in the opt-out program, there are certain dates that need to be, target dates that need to be hit? Can you give us some recommendations as to what those dates ought to be?
We'd recommend having this implemented for July 1, so the cans would be rolled out, in June. Sorry.
You planned that.
I didn't, it just was fortuitous. They would be rolled out in June with the first pickup the week of June 30th and the first week of July.
Let me revise my question. What date would they have, or how much time do we want to give them after July 1st to
Opt-out.
opt out?
30 days.
30 days is a recommendation.
That was the recommendation given to us from Wasatch Integrated. And we also, it has to be in place, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it by we have to have this functioning by
By September.
September to receive the grant money as well.
I'm just wondering if 30 days is a reasonable enough time, given the time of year in the summer. If 45 would not be, is that going to be detrimental to us if we gave them 45 days to opt out? If you're talking July, August timeframe, people may not be here for
Right.
2-3 weeks and I may not get the notice. Or are they going to give them a chance to opt out earlier than July 1st? But the deadline would be July 31st.
I mean, we were trying to do it in one billing cycle
Mhm.
so that we didn't have to deal with that, but we didn't even go past the 30
Yeah,
days.
we didn't
It's a
discuss
thought.
that, but
Most of the plans, sorry, Angie, most of them are doing 2 weeks. As I read in the paper, I don't know, those of you, there's several other cities rolling that out this month in Davis County. And most of them were giving them 2 weeks.
From the
Opt out.
notice of the rollout or from the notice of the program starts? I
So
guess
they were going 2 weeks from the date of their announcement, is the way I read it. They had to opt out or they automatically all got a can and never got to the chance or received the opportunity to opt out once they got the can. So we're doing a little bit different.
Okay.
The one I was familiar with in Washington County, we had 2 weeks to opt out once we received the can.
so,
That wasn't hard, but
so really they'll be getting the cans in June and then would have till
July 31st.
August 1st or July 31st. So
Yeah.
they would be getting about 45 days once they got their can.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion?
Quick question. So, first of all, thank you for voting on it first, the want to or not. So the drop from the 80 to the 50/80 pickup rate, or those that will retain it, that just happens as a natural process. So if we start off, we have, 85% pick it up, take it, and then they decide not to be part of that program, then do we automatically drop down to the 80/75 and that price increases right then?
They've got the 30 days to opt in.
So if you don't opt out,
After 30 days,
after, you're stuck. This is just,
That's
because
Okay.
moving forward, correct me if I'm stating this wrong, moving forward, the new residents moving in will receive
That's
both
what I was
cans.
gonna
Yeah.
say.
Automatically.
yeah. So within that first month, we have to have over 80% still,
Well,
right?
people can, I mean, if they can opt back in.
Yeah.
They just.
But I'm saying that is the limit, that to get everything that we want, because you said if we have the program where we have the opt-out for people, then we still qualify for everything. But what if the numbers in the city come out that,
Well,
we
I think you
25%
said,
opt out?
The 80%, I misspoke. The 80% only applies to our haul rate with
That's the haul rate.
Robinson.
Okay, that's what I
Just
thought.
if we do the
Yeah.
opt-out issue is what is key for Wasatch
I
Integrated.
see.
Sorry, I misspoke.
No, okay. I was just confused on that from the
So if it
discussion.
drops
last time.
below
So,
80%, you'd have to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robinson.
that's a Robinson, that's transport. Okay.
And it's $1.
Yeah.
They're
Difference.
gonna charge more. Okay. Someone ready to make a motion?
Mayor, I move to create a citywide recycling program where residents must actively choose to add recycling to their. No, let me repeat that. I move to create a citywide recycling program where current and new residents are automatically enrolled in the recycling program, but current residents may opt out within 30 days after the program begins before July 31st, and approve a contract with Robinson Waste for 3 years.
Seconded.
Can I ask one
Did we want-
clarifying question for the term? Because if we,
We didn't discuss that.
we didn't discuss the term, so
We can
it
just-
changes our contract for garbage pickup and recycling to be on the same contract with the same,
If we do 3 or
Term.
5
Can we
years.
just make the motion to be negotiated for 3 or 5 years or up to 5 years?
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because we still need to sit down and negotiate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
amend your
motion.
I amend my motion with, in regards to the approval of a contract with Robinson Waste to be 3 to 5 years, depending on negotiation.
Again, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote, starting with Councilman Windsor.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries.
Yeah.
Next item, Public Works Facility Project Change Order pertaining to the generator. Any discussion on this item?
I got one question. What's the backup power servicing?
The backup power is serving all of the office because we're going to use that for the Emergency Operations Center. The main office, and then just necessary lights and a few outlets and some exterior lighting. That's it.
So what's the design outage before, or how long before the propane tank runs out? Or is it going to be a continuous feed?
No, it's not a we have 1,000-gallon propane tank, and I thought they told us that was a 30-day.
So it can run 30 days just to power that minimum.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. I think that's the required for that 1,000 gallons, was it not, David?
That's my understanding as
Yeah.
well.
And this was something we were aware of doing, and we were going to try to do it on our own. And it just made a lot more sense to have them do it. The electrician that's on site is taking care of all of the warranty and the interconnects. We don't have to worry about where their line is drawn and our line is drawn. And it actually is probably in the long run saving us money because we couldn't have bought the generator for that, so. But we did know we were buying it, sorry.
Yeah,
Joe.
we did.
So right now, I'm assuming we don't have any generator over at the current facility, correct?
No, they do have
No.
a generator, don't they have a generator over there?
At the
Not
fire
at-
department?
Oh, fire department, yes, but not over at
No,
the
at the,
At the new one?
no, the existing
old, the
public works.
existing public works building.
Oh. okay,
Yeah.
no, it's-
I didn't know,
I
don't believe so.
No.
Yeah, unless it's like a little Honda or something. But we do have one already over at the fire station.
City
Yeah.
Hall has one and the fire station has one.
And if I remember right, this is something when Mac was doing the audit, that we kicked the public works generator down the road because we knew we were building a facility. Otherwise, that was one of the audit items that all three facilities needed that.
That's correct. And if we're out of, because like right now, we're out of compliance on that, obviously. So what are we gaining by having it when we already have two buildings, including the main city hall itself, with backup power?
Right now, City Hall functions as a de facto emergency operations center, but it is not designed as such. The Public Works facility will have the ability to operate as a more functional emergency operations center.
In what way?
It will have the right technology, it will have the right information, connections, things like that.
So what
There's
will it
spe- there's
have that this
special
building?
antennas up there that they
And
have
I
to
know
have
that
for
they've got the digital antenna system coming up that's going to act as a relay that's going all around on that. So I understand having something to run it. But I'm sorry. I mean,
I mean, you,
I don't know if we need one that large just to be able to run that when we could do battery backup to be able to run as a relay station.
well,
but-
this generator is pretty much the smallest that we can have to operate the facility in case power goes out. And it does allow us to have the emergency operations center there, which is a specific type of facility or has specific type of capabilities beyond just any open space that
Can you
people could
give
gather
me
in.
something for that other than just that?
So the large meeting, and we went through this a while.
Size.
Yeah, the large meeting room in the office area
Uh-huh.
is specifically designed to meet all of the EOC requirements. And Derek's been the one going through that with the engineers. It requires a certain number of outlets, certain number of Cat5 cable plugins. We had to have the antenna system plugged in to all of that stuff. I can't remember all of the details. There was a lengthy list that had to be designed into just that room to qualify to meet as an emergency operations center.
So to keep the city functioning in an emergency, a serious emergency.
I get the idea. I just don't understand why this building isn't currently capable of doing that. I mean,
Doesn't have all the
It-
media hookup for one thing.
Right.
And then the size.
well, the media hookup, it should have everything because we've got or not a full trunk, but we've got a full line coming here into the city hall. It runs all of our servers. It runs all of our communication.
Well, you
Um,
could for probably one person or one outlet, but there's gotta be, how many does that have over there? Gonna have like,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but it
was.
was for, I know that Chief could go more into depth
Yeah.
with this, but it is set up so if we had to have all hands on deck in a location, every person there would have access to all of the media, the specific things that are like the specific outlets that he was talking about, we have to have, and the antennas and everything specific that this building does not have.
Yeah, this building does not have the same capability that will.
And not the whole building, it's really, we've just designated that front
that one.
office area,
Yeah.
not the whole
Conference
entire
room.
building, because we're not battery backing up everything. What the generator was twice this size.
Okay.
And maybe we ought to ask Derek. I mean, I'm inclined to approve the change order, but maybe we just ask Derek all of those because he had a lengthy list that it had to meet and a state requirement for all of those items so that we complied.
Okay.
Okay, someone ready to make a motion?
Yeah, and yes, I am ready. And the paper that we have in front of us is the correct amount, so that is different from the packet. So may I make a motion to approve the change order for a propane generator in the amount of $112,007.12 for Valley Design?
Seconded?
Okay, a motion is second. Do a roll call vote starting with Councilman Windsor.
Aye.
I said aye.
Without knowing what the chief's requirements are, I'm just gonna have to say no.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 4-1, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you for answering those questions, though.
Next discussion item, Dave. Legislative review, anything you want to say on this?
Interesting session. Rather than going through every bill and talk about what happened or didn't happen, what I'd like to do is simply say over the next few weeks, the Utah League of Cities and Towns has a series of training webinars to talk about what specific actions the city needs to take, whether that's code updates or procedures, policy type things that we need to do to get in alignment with the laws that were passed. So the session ended and now we've got a period of time for implementation of the changes that were approved. And so I am scheduled to attend those, and I know other staff members will be involved as their areas of expertise are affected, but staff will follow all of that to make sure that we are following all of the changes that are required based on state law adjustments.
Question. With the approval of the bill to remove fluoride from the public water system, assuming the governor approves that one, is there anything the city is required to do informational wise to the public to let them know that that is no longer in the water, and if they need that, they need to seek other measures in which to get the fluoride? Is there any other requirements on the city, or is this all going to be with the water provider?
I don't know of any city specific requirements. That's one of those that we're going to want to follow closely to see if there's anything we do need to do, but I'm not aware of anything in the bill that the city has to do specifically. We'll of course work very closely with Weber Basin, who does implement the fluoride in our water here in the city to make sure that information is shared about the change.
So we don't add fluoride to our wells that we turn on? We don't add any additional fluoride?
Percentage of water that we use is
So we just
minimal.
dilution, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
There's enough concentration in the water regardless. Got it.
And there's natural fluoridation.
There's always natural fluoride. but, yeah, I know all about that.
Okay. Anything else, Dave?
Not for me on that.
Okay. Want to reports? Anyone have any new business that they would like to bring up? Have none. Council reports, we've been working on our budget with everyone, so I think most of our time's been spent on that. Unless anyone's got, something from their, meeting that they'd like to bring up, we'll just move along with
I
it.
do, Mayor,
Okay.
from our events committee meeting. So just wanted to put on our calendar, April 18th, 6 PM sharp is the Easter egg hunt. That is the week we'll be in St. George for the Utah League of Cities and Towns. So if we're back in time, we'd love anybody to show up to Easter egg hunt to help. But for our residents, that's Friday, April 18th. And it's Good Friday, so it'll be a good Friday. Concert in the Park, June 26th from 7 to 8:30. We are asking if City Council would be able to help us with running any of those events, perhaps making snow cones or something like that. So if you guys can help, please let us know. We can get with Shaylee.
June 20.
June
26th is a
26th.
Thursday from 7 to 8:30.
If you recall, we talked about condensing our concerts in the park, so we're just having one this summer. So we're trying to make it a little more quality over quantity. So if any of the council could help with that, we would appreciate that.
Thank you, Angie. Anyone else? If not, we'll look for a motion to close city council and move into our closed session.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
You'll
Aye.
just,
Aye.
please,
Closed
please
session will
state
be
for the
discussed
record
in
the reason for the
employment of
closed session.
security
Oh, we need to say why we're going to close session.
He was,
do it.
sorry, he was saying
I
that.
was just trying to say that. So we'll move into closed session to discuss the deployment of security personnel, device and systems.